So many people go into farming expecting quick profit. That is why most times, that is the reason why most of them end up failing. In this video right here, I'm going to be giving you or telling you why so many farmers fail. And we're going to be working around how we're going to, avoid that for it not to happen. For beginner farmers and even those for already existing farmers or farmers already, for them to take correction in what they've been doing wrong. Because this is something I learned the hard way. I learned this in a very, very hard way. So I always come here to give you tips based on my own personal experience. Firstly, or should we let's go like this. Farming requires lots of patience. You need patience, you need perseverance, you need consistency for you to be able to make it in farming. So many people, they're not ready to do the work, but they are ready to have the money. How? If you're not ready to do the work or put in the work, how do you expect to make so much money from it? How do you expect to succeed from it? So before you go into farming or before you even think of going into farming, make sure you're ready to put in the work that comes with it. Make sure you're ready to do or to take the necessary steps, because so many people ignore the important steps and just dive straight into it. That is why they end up failing. And those that fail, once they come and they tell you, there's no money in agriculture, there's no money in farming, no, there's no money in this, so there's no money in that, oh. What did you do wrong? That is what you're supposed to be asking yourself. What did you do wrong? Stick right there. Hello everyone, it's your favorite farmer family, IJ, and as you all know, I always come here to give you tips on how to be a very successful farmer. If you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do well to subscribe and come back here for more videos like this. Now, let's dive in proper what we have for the day. All you have to give me in this class today is give me your ears, and you're going to learn a lot. The very first thing a lot of people ignore or neglect before getting into farming is the lack proper planning. People don't plan. Why will you be embarking on a journey and there's no proper planning? How do you expect yourself to succeed? How do you expect yourself to do well without planning? Planning, you need to write down your plans. Even before you think of going into farming, even before you dream of it, plan yourself a year before, months before. I'm speaking based on experience. You need to plan yourself, because if you don't plan yourself, it will be very difficult for you to even pass down to your workers what to do for you, because you don't even know where you are. You don't even know the stage that you are at. So with proper planning, you always know where you are, where the stage you are at every given point in time. There's a popular saying that says, if you fail to plan, that means you are planning to fail. If you don't make your plans, be rest assured that most likely you're going to fail. So plan yourself very well. Even your tasks, put down your tasks year by year, month by month, week by week, and even day by day. But at every given time, you will know that yes, I have accomplished this. This is what I'm supposed to do by the end of the week. This is how it's supposed to be. It will give you a clear insight of what you have or what you want. A client came to me few weeks back. He was complaining to me that his farm is not doing well, they're not making profits, like he's not getting much money, everything is not going very well. So I asked him one question. At what stage is your farm? How many workers do you have? How many kgs do you harvest? What are you doing presently in your farm? What crops do you have presently in your farm? To my greatest surprise, he couldn't even answer these questions. How do you call yourself a farmer when you can't answer these basic questions? So how do you expect your workers to be serious when the owner of the place is not serious? How do you expect your workers to be serious? So for you to succeed, you need to plan extensively. You need to go to experienced farmers, those that have been there before, those you see as mentors. Reach out to them. Tell them, and or ask them questions you need to know, or what you need to know generally before you go into it, because it's not an easy one. For you to succeed, you need the right experience to go into it. So ask them the necessary questions you need to ask them, and make sure all your boxes are ticked before you even get into it. By so doing, you're going to do marvelously well, excellently well. So planning is a very, very important stage. A very, very important stage is a very, very important stage in farming. Do not miss that for any reason. It's not because somebody said you're going to make 10 million naira from farming and boom, you rush into it the next day, you've invested your money. Did you plan? That is why so many people have failed. Even if they say that pepper or tomato is selling for 1 million naira today, if you've not planned yourself, if you've not done your proper planning, don't go into it. Plan yourself. If you plan yourself, everything's going to be pretty easy for you. I'm going to start this one by saying, even before you start harvesting, make sure you've sold. I don't mean make sure you've sold your goods before you start harvesting. Why? Because the end product is all that matters. It's not about cultivating, it's not about, doing this, doing that, blah blah blah. It's about knowing your market, knowing what your market wants. Poor market research has sent so many people home. I don't know how much to say this. I don't know how to emphasize or talk about it. It has failed so many people. Poor market research. Before you get to plant any produce, before you get to plant any seed, make sure you have your market everly ready. Not just by planting there, they just assume that there is market for it. Do not assume that there is market. Make sure there is market for it. Have your customers first before even going into it. Personally, I was affected by this when I grew my first batch of pepper. When I grew my first batch of pepper, I thought, oh, there's so much market for pepper. Oh, it's not going to be difficult for me to sell. Oh, this, oh, that. I went into it. I planted 10,000 stands of habanero pepper. When it started producing, I was happy. When it started ripening, I was happy. So when it got to harvesting, I didn't have any customer. There was influx in the market. I didn't have anybody to offtake. One day in the farm, I sat down. I shed tears. I didn't have anybody to buy my produce as at then. What did I do? Although I handled it, was medicine after death, or I took the action late. One day I just left the house, went to so many markets, personally spoke to so many sellers, went to supermarkets, did so many research, went to so many people, and before the end of the day I got so many potential buyers. All I had to do, I just had to bring some sample to them, and they were amazed by it. The very next week that I had to harvest, I wasn't even able to meet up my demand. So in all this, the market is not going to come to you. You have to go to the market and build your customer base. Once you have a very good customer base, all you should be concerned about is how to produce. Don't let your problem be how to produce and how to sell. Before you go into it, before you even buy your seed from the store, make sure your market is everly ready, that you can call them. Is it going to the market? Is it those buying in the farm? Is it your off-takers? Or however you want it, make sure your market, and know what your market needs. Because if you go to the market with what they don't need, they're not going to buy it. Let's use cucumber as a case study here. Here in the east, or here in Imo State, we usually consume the very big cucumber, mostly called African giant. But in the west, that is not what they consume. They consume the very dark green ones that is not as big as African giant. So imagine selling African giant in the west and selling their species here in the east. It's not making so much sense. They will buy it, but they're going to buy it below market price because everybody wants to go with the market demand. So make sure you meet your market demand before going to your market. Make sure your market is ready, meet your market demand, know what they want before you even embark on the journey. And it's going to be a very, very smooth ride for you. I've been speaking about after production. So how about in production? What are you supposed to do not to fail as a farmer in production? The very first thing you shouldn't neglect is your pest and disease control first, because a healthy plant is what is going to give you the money. Without a healthy plant, you're not going anywhere. They won't produce well. So a healthy plant should be your priority as a farmer. A lot of people, they prefer giving the medicine when the plant's already dead. So why not prevent it instead of waiting to cure it? So many people just leave their plant. Once they see their plants are doing well, they don't care. Because I've seen this in so many of my videos or my previous videos, that these pests are very microscopic. You only see the effect after it has eaten deep into your plant, and at that stage, most of the times it gets very difficult for you to control them. So how do you control this? To control this, you need to treat your plants like your plants already infested. Have that mindset that I need to keep this plant healthy, because these plants don't talk. Most of the times they get affected and you will not know. If you are not used to them, you might not know until the damage has gone so bad. Or sometimes not even checking if your workers are spraying the plants well, or check if your workers are doing what they're supposed to do, because sometimes workers, they just neglect. If you're not there, they just tell you they've done it. I've said a story about it, of how I lost my pepper to my workers because of how they neglected the whole thing, of negligence and all that, and my negligence as well, because I wasn't taking note of it. So I was invaded with disease. By then it was already late. I couldn't do anything about it. At last I had to terminate the crops, and which is very sad. A crop that was supposed to last about 6 months lasted just 3 months. So that is it. If you want to have, or if you want to be successful in farming, your pest and disease control should be your major concern. You have to take your integrated pest management very serious. Your IPM, take it very, very serious. If you are very bad at noting whatever you are using, or whatever pesticide or insecticide or fungicide you're using, then you need to create a schedule for it. Write it down. Write what you have to spray every week. Pass it down to your workers, and they already know what they have to do for the day. A lot of people neglect, and make sure you use original products for this, because if you don't use an original product, you might be putting in the work and the product are ineffective. Your plant will still remain as dormant as ever. So pest, disease and nutrients literally need to feed the plant. Make sure they are well fed at every point in time. If you do this, you're going to be very, very successful. You must have heard, na who give up, do wetin na him fuck up. Tell me why you want to embark on a long-term business and you just did your first trial and you've given up. Tell me why. So let's take, for instance, your child failed in her nurseries or his nursery classes. Are you going to give up on that child? No, you won't. So why will you give up on your long-term your long-term business? Some people get into farming with so much expectations, but I want to tell you that before you make your expectations, make sure they are very, very realistic. There are some expectations that are very unrealistic. So tell me how you're going to achieve that. And there's a saying that says, it is expectation that breeds disappointment. If you get disappointment, the next thing you do is going to quit. So why are you quitting? A lot of farmer has quit at some point, because I know sometimes it's very difficult, it's draining, But don't give up. Some plants or some crops take time for you to start yielding profit on the long run. And some farming, or when you start your farming, there are some investments you make that you're not going to get immediately. They are your initial capitals. You are not going to make them immediately. You might not make them in your first circle of planting or whatever. It might be on the long run, maybe in your second or third planting or fourth planting. What you should be more focused about is, if I have challenges, what do? I will have to face my challenges, pick up lessons from the challenges, and move ahead. If you move ahead from the challenges, it will help you not to overcome, sorry, it will help you not to experience that again. This is how the whole experience thing comes from. Nobody gets it all right. Even me, I did not get it all right from the beginning. Even till today, sometimes I make mistakes. Mistakes are bound to happen. Challenges are very, very normal, because challenges makes us. If you give up on the challenge you have, you've given up on your dreams. So why will you give up on your dreams just because of the few challenges you've had? So this is just maybe kind of encouragement. If you are at the verge of giving up, please don't give up. It is worth it. It is worth it at the very end. Why are you giving up? So my lovelies, don't give up on that little farm you see right there. That little farm can change your life. It can change your life. So don't give up on it. So let's move on. Sometimes record keeping is a very, very, very challenging task for farmers to do. There are a whole lot of benefits from record keeping. Record keeping will help you know when you've broken even. It will help you know when you're running on the deficit. It will help you know when you're running on the profit. You need to track your expenses in your farm, know your profit, or even know the credit and the debit you're getting in your farm. It will help you know when to minimize your spending, to help you know how much you've spent so far. It will help you know how much you're earning, or help you know what is happening at the moment and the financial status of your farm. Record keeping is very, very important. You need to keep records of your fertilizers, your labor, your whatever money you spend on whatever, even on the skills you're acquiring. You need to keep records of everything, because keeping record of it will help you know when you are doing well and when you're not doing well. It will also help you know when to adjust and when to do better. So record keeping is very, very important. Please take it very, very serious. This is where a lot of farmers get it all wrong and they end up failing, because they don't even know when they are in profit, they don't even know when they're in loss. So record keeping is that hack for you to make it in farming. So now I reserved the best for the last, the most important one for the last. The most important thing you need to get or acquire before going into any business at all. Let's generalize it. Not just in farming, but in every aspect of life, in every business. Even if you want to be selling pure water down the street or bottled waters, you need to learn it. So before you get into farming, before you have the plans to go into it, make sure you have somebody you call your mentor, or make sure you acquire the right skills. It doesn't matter from who, it doesn't matter from where. Make sure you get the right skills, because once you have the right skills, every other thing becomes a walk in a park for you, because you're going to enjoy the ride. You're going to have, because the person will explain to you so many things, the pros, the cons, and how to go about it. It's going to be very easy for you. Get the right knowledge, whatever you are planting, be it cucumber, pepper, tomatoes, whatever it is. Make sure you get the in-depth skills. You can get it from one person, two people, three people. Make your research. Make your research. No man is an island. Make sure you meet somebody that has done it before. someone that has done it over and over and over again, so the person can put you through how to do it or how to go around it. And if you also want me to put you through, you can always come to my DM and we'll talk about that. We'll help you set up your farm properly, help you to do the right things in farming, because once you do the right things, every other thing is going to be very, very easy for you. Skill is neglected. People think that farming is just go and plant in the field and come back. It's not it. If you don't want your investment to just go down the drain, because it's going to be very disheartening that because of the right skills, your plant just went down the drain or your investment went down the drain. It's not going to be pleasant, and I don't want that for you, because you can't be on my page here and you're failing. Why are you failing? Tell me why you are failing. You can't fail, oh. So it's please and please, skill is very, very important. The knowledge from whoever that has done it before, from whoever you feel or see that this can be my mentor, this can help me to achieve what I really want to achieve, then it's going to be very easy for you. People are making it in agriculture, people are making it in farming, and people are also failing in farming. Don't let those that are failing tell you that there's nothing in it, because there's something. It's a hidden treasure that so many people have not, unlocked. So be among the first people to unlock that treasure, and you're going to go home with the prize. I have stated the most important, or one of the many reasons why people fail in farming. This is so many reasons why people fail in farming. So if you don't want to fail, or if you failed before and you want to get back on your feet, please take note of all this I've said in this video, and your farming journey is not going to remain the same. That is it. We wrap it up for today's episode on how to be a very successful farmer. Do have a lovely day, and bye from your pretty farmer, Farm with IJ.